Leo Varadkar needs to do this immediately if he doesn't want a full-scale revolution on his hands in Ireland. Now, I'm not promoting a revolution. I'm not promoting a coup. I'm not promoting any of those things. Do everything in a diplomatic way, and nobody should use violence or force to get what they want. We need to live in 2024 and not the 1100s. So Leo Varadkar needs to do this if he wants to avoid any of those things, in my opinion. He needs to immediately implement a heavy vetting process for any refugees or asylum seekers looking asylum or refuge in this country. Right now, Ireland is being overrun with immigration. Now, this is a topic that I've spoken about in this channel a lot, but I'm thinking to myself, there's no denying what Leo Varadkar needs to do. He is in the middle of a culture war, and to quote Leo, he says Ireland should stay away from the culture war that's happening in the United States, while at the same time putting us into a culture war just like the United States. These people are hypocrites. So, what do you mean? Ireland's about to pop off, folks. There's no denying that. It's about to pop off. It's about to get very, very messy, very, very fast. And if the leaders in Ireland do not listen to us and they don't start listening to the Irish people, there's going to be some serious, serious consequences, in my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. I would not want to be Leo Varadkar now. I would not want to be that guy. I don't understand why he's actively going against the Irish people. He must truly believe that he's doing right by his people. He must think that we're all idiots. He must think that you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about. Ireland favours people not of Ireland. So what do I mean by that? They favour people. They favour foreign men and women over their own people. And they actively give them a lot of resources, while at the same time you've got companies like Tesla linked in with idle car services that put teenagers on mattresses that needed to be rehoused because they came from a bad home. So there's an imbalance in Ireland. Now, think about it this way. If you were in power, what would be the first thing you would do? You have to ask yourself that question. Well, you wouldn't give free Guinness to everybody. Well, you might. I might, just for the crack. Listen, free pint of Guinness to everybody. There you go. Have a bit of crack on me, right? Now, the first thing you would really, truly implement is a vetting process, because there is an issue in Ireland where violent crime has risen, and that's not just to do with the native population. There has been an increase in rape. There has been an increase in any type of criminality that you can think. Now, you can't just put that down to refugees or migrants. You can say, well, hold on, there's an economic crisis at the minute. And with an economic crisis, people do strange things. But it's undeniable that Ireland's open border policy is destroying the land. And even if you're liberal, if you're conservative, you cannot deny this. And I think that the certain people that are an advocate for this invasion right now will go down in history as cowards. They will go down in history as weak people. And as a country right now, there's top politicians that don't even want to say what a woman is or what a man is because they're too afraid. And in my opinion, that is the start of the corrosion. Maybe not even the start, it could be the middle of the corrosion. Maybe it's been corroding for a very long time. Now, a lot of people come on here and say, well, don't be a racist and don't be a bigot. Ireland has been a multicultural society for the past 25 years, and we've accepted this and we've allowed this, and we wouldn't have it any other way. There's all different types of international communities living around Ireland, which we accept. But what we don't accept is a non-vetting process. Somebody who comes here legally has to be vetted. But a person, as they say in the mainstream media, 70% of the migrants that come into Ireland rip up their passport because they don't want Ireland to know who they are. Why is that? Think about it. Use your brain. The only reason you would do that is if you didn't want the country to know who you are. Now, obviously, you're going to get variables. There's people on the radical left that advocate for this because they want anarchy. They are anarchists, and some of them are even more extreme extinctionists. The people that we do not like in the society. We were all anarchists at one stage whenever we were 14 listening to Nirvana, but then we grew up and realised, oh, this is how the world is really ran. So, for Leo Varadkar to save this country, I'm not telling him to stop bringing in refugees, but there needs to be a vetting process. Any rapists, paedophiles, murderers, criminals, even people that are suspected of terrorism cannot get into this country. And even if you don't have a passport, you're not getting in. Now, what will that do? Well, the 70% of the people who rip up their passport will not be able to get in. So, going by that mathematic, you will have a reduction in 70% of the migration coming into Ireland, the illegal migration. Think about it. Just swap those percentages over to the people who won't be able to get in. If 70% of the people are ripping up their passport, and then a further 70% of those people try to get in without a passport, they tell their friends, then there's going to be a 70% reduction. And that will save Ireland. People will vote for Leo Varadkar, and he will be favoured by the people. And he can maybe make an apology and say, I'm sorry, I was clowned by the WEF, but here I am for you, Ireland, and don't worry about it. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that doesn't happen again. You can also tackle the homeless crisis. Now, for me, for anybody saying they don't have the resources, well, the cat's out of the bag on that one. Because for many years now, as I say, Leo has been allowing in random people with no passports into Ireland, and he's been giving them accommodation in hotels. Those homeless people in Ireland deserve those hotels, and I don't care if they're immigrants or refugees. If there's somebody in Ireland on the streets, put them into a hotel, because I can be a boyo coming off a plane, rip up my passport, and you will give me a hotel, accommodation, food, and clothing, and sometimes a phone. I'm hearing sometimes they get cars too. So don't come to me with the BS that you can't, because you can, because you've just proved that the resources are there. And plus, this is the same Irish Republican government that give the Hillary Clinton Foundation €100 million over a 5-year period to fight HIV in Mozambique. Come on, what are we doing here? So yeah, if Leo Varadkar wants to win back his people, that's what he needs to do as soon as possible. Or I do feel if he doesn't do that, this will be his political demise. And I have to urge people, never ever be violent or hurt people. And just to know this, to the people that are being called far right and a bigot right now, the reason why you're called that is because they need to class you in a little box, because they themselves are actual far leftists. So never use violence, because just know this, they will use that against you. They will, if you are attacked by these people, take the beating, because it will just show that you are the more peaceful person. I know that seems crazy, but sometimes the people like ourselves that are working on a disadvantage have to work double as hard just to get half the way they would get. So that's it, guys. That's what Leo Varadkar needs to do. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment and tell me what you think, and share. And if you want to go follow me on the social media platforms, free speech ones, the links can be found in the description. Peace out.